Hugues GDLM is from northern France. The UK is very aware of his talent, and he's actually come to the UK this week to promote some of his work. As a journalist, I'm extremely excited to be working with Hugues on some of his projects here in the northeast of England. He's a very versatile actor, but he's also a director, so he has that overall perception of what it's like to be in front of and behind the camera. His genres are very diverse. He works in the comedy genre. He's also worked on some dark dramas, which is psychologically interesting. His latest film, which is coming out in a couple of months' time, is an action film called Liaisons, and I'm very excited to hear more about that. He's also worked in the surreal film industry. His latest project was the Avignon Film Festival, so I'm going to be asking him some questions about that. He's also worked on some alternative works. He's a very experimental kind of filmmaker, which is the kind of genre that the youths in France are particularly interested in, and of course France is very well known for its film noir, for which he has a great appreciation. So he has this contemporary filmmaking skill, but he also has the ability to appreciate the old and in some ways incorporate that in his work. The thing to really applaud Hugues for, I think, is the diversity of his work, all of which is of an impressive standard. His attention to detail is second to none. He's a born perfectionist, and his editing skills are superb. He's very capable of making films, from writing the plot to filming to directing. He's very good at working with people. He has a very charismatic personality, which of course works greatly in the world of film. The reception that we had when he arrived in the UK and when he was talking to people here in the north of England was fantastic. He actually sang the French national anthem in a local cafe. And we've had an absolute brilliant time so far. He's a lot of fun to work with. We're going to be doing some DJing next week as well. Next Wednesday we're going to be doing a radio show together, during which it's going to be a bilingual radio show in French and English, which of course is fascinating on an international scale. We're going to have listeners from France and from the UK, as well as our other listeners from Australia and America. We have a very international audience on Durham Dales Radio, owned by Anita Atkinson. And I'm incredibly excited to see what Hugues has up his sleeve in terms of film work, because he's definitely one to look out for in terms of Cannes Film Festival in the future. I think he's rising up the ranks in the world of film. He's making a lot of contacts internationally. As I say, for me as a journalist, he's fascinating to work with. He started working in theatre about 2 years ago, up and down the country in France. And I think this year is going to be a good year for him. So the filmmaking is something he's particularly focusing on now. Toute, Montagne, the first film that he released 2 months ago, got about 2,000 hits immediately on YouTube. It went viral. The trailer alone for Liaisons, his second film, which is an action film, has received 1,200 hits. So yeah, incredibly excited to work with him. So,